Bang, bang! Welcome in here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are live here from the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and I forgot to change the location, but that is in Watkins Glen, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to tack on this 2.45-mile road course for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how we get down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel every single season. We do at least one road course for these race car drivers. They're a chance to come out here tonight at the Watkins Glen International Raceway and showcase their skills. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from the Go Bowling at the Glen 100 here. The guys are packed out here. Fans are being camped out all week long. Saw John Michael Bryant back on the back stretch stand signing some autographs earlier. Blake Child is in the field tonight, and so is Kevin Tankos, Jonathan Smith, a couple more guys that you're used to seeing. We're moments away from switching over here from the qualifying event. Look at these beautiful shots around the iRacing's new textured, layered Watkins Glen International Raceway. We're getting ready to bring it to you live tonight for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. We're almost completed with the season, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to kick off the playoffs. We'll bring up the remaining schedule here for the Madness Racing League as we get ready to take off tonight's starting lineups for tonight's main event here tonight for 25 laps around the Watkins Glen Speedway. We got one more regular season race at Dover, and then we'll be heading over to Wilkesboro on the brand new racetrack released yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one hell of a show here tonight. Getting ready to get down here, locked and loaded with these race cars. You see the pit box guys are down there, getting the tires stretched out, getting those quads nice and locked and loaded here. Ladies and gentlemen, there they go, ladies. We got about 15 cars going to shake out to try to take on the Watkins Glen International Raceway here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we get these guys out on the field, we'll have you right here for the starting lineups for the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a sound check in the chat from everybody? I want to make sure everything is up and running appropriately since they've updated everything here. We see the chat is absolutely going crazy down there. We appreciate all you guys tuning in here late on a 12 o'clock a.m. green flag race for the Madness Racing League. We're still waiting on our pole sitter, and when we get him out here on the racetrack, there he goes. We'll get tonight's starting grids locked off. Ladies and gentlemen, the pace cars getting ready to go. You hear it from Dre the admin as he kicks in and out here. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in here. Looks like I'm here from the admin here that we are going to take one quick second to explain a driver's interview. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we apologize for that little miscommunication as the admin wanted to clarify the rules that we have go on here. And as we get ready to kick off tonight's starting lineups, excuse me, for 25 laps around here of the Madness Racing League. The guys are lined up on the grid here, getting ready to go racing. I want to remind you that you are watching Season 2 of the Next Gen Cup Series for the Madness Racing League live here from the Watkins Glen International Raceway. 107-degree track temp here tonight in the beautiful United States of America, right here in the heart of New York. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the admin calling over the driver the driver chat here, and I'm listening in, waiting for my cue to kick off tonight's driver introductions here. But as we wait, reminding you to head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen, and go ahead and get yourself liked and loaded on all of our recent races for the Next Gen, the Cup Series, the Xfinity. We offer it all. We have modifieds, late models, you name it, we have it. And you can damn sure find it here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I think I'm being told by the admin we're ready to go here. And on the pole here tonight for the Watkins Glen International Raceway from Hawthorne, New Jersey, driving the number 4 Saucy Nugs Camaro. That's Kevin Tankos. Starting in the second place spot here tonight, driving the number 24 Twins Grading LLC Chevy Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina. That's James Fallon. Going to be starting in the fourth place spot here tonight from Huntersville, Georgia, driving the Toyota TRD Camry from Huntersville, Georgia. That's the 64-year-old Bobby Kyle. Driving the number 9 Nationwide Auto Insurance Chevy Camaro from Coleman, Alabama. That's the 21-year-old Ty Robertson. Driving the number 02 Snap-on Ford Mustang from Welford, South Carolina. That's the 23-year-old of Nicholas Maynard. Driving the number 51 Chevy Camaro here tonight on time, where it's on us. That's the Chevy Camaro, the two-time iRacing champion of Chase Johnson. Driving the number 7 Rock and Roll Racing Moroso's Ford Mustang from Pelzer, South Carolina. Looking to shake, rattle, and roll. That's Travo Wall. Driving the number 48 Wendy's Queso Machine from Buchanan, West Virginia. That's the 48 of Nick Crawford. Starting on the inside of him, driving the number 23 LKQ Pull Apart J Money Sense Toyota Camry from Greer, South Carolina. That's John Michael Bryant. Starting behind him, driving the number 59 Tyler's Pub of the Pier Chevy Camaro from Clemson, South Carolina. That's cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain. Driving the number 13 Premier Setups winner 2 weeks ago at the Iowa Speedway, locked into the playoffs. Driving the number 13, that's going to be John Smith. All over the place here tonight, but riding out the 12th place spot here tonight on the back half of the field from Tempe, Arizona. That's going to be the 12 of Blake Hochschild. Starting out shotgun tail end of the field here tonight, driving the Coors Light number 33 Silver Bullet from Greer, South Carolina. That's going to be Tony Cook. Holden Wheeler will take the starting park here tonight from Mooresville, North Carolina. So if Holden Wheeler hopefully can get it out here on the track, if I'm not mistaken, here in the Madness Racing League, you must at least start the race here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. But ladies and gentlemen, we're moments away. This is what you came for. Go bowling at the Glen 100 live here for the Next Gen Cup Series for the Madness Racing League. 25 laps around this beautiful 2.45 mile road course. We'll bring up tonight's keys of the race from the Watkins Glen International Raceway. 2 sets of tires, 25 laps, and a comp caution on lap 10 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So when these guys, or the leader, I shall say, takes lap number 10 here tonight, the caution flag will be thrown. Pure MRL, that's the Madness Racing League, the company you're racing for, watching here tonight. Keys of the race, strategy with the comp caution. Who's going to go try to flip the stage, kind of like here tonight with the comp caution? Not really halfway, but midway between the halfway point. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure that you're staying on this 8-turn road course all night long. Keep all 4 tires on the asphalt as Peter the Pace Car leads them down the back straightaway towards the bus stop here. And let others find trouble. That's going to be your main key here tonight of the race. If you just want a good finish, ladies and gentlemen, with the season regular finale 2 weeks from now at that Over Motor Speedway, you can only imagine a lot of these guys are going to be racing for some points here tonight, trying to lock themselves into the Madness Racing League playoffs here for the Next Gen Cup Series. Reminding you folks, Terry Hughes Jr. been pulled from full-time here in the Cup Series, so he will drop down in the standings. That'll open up a spot here for the Madness Racing League Cup Series. Headed down the back straightaway here, back towards the start-finish line. We're getting ready to go racing, or I should say go bowling here at the Glen. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tankos is going to be on the pole here tonight, bringing them behind Peter the Pace car in his brand new BMW, whatever the hell that is, MS25 9643, whatever the hell you want to call it. Peter the Pace car riding in style here tonight at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, hearing from the admin, we're going to do things a little bit different here for the restart zone. Kevin Tankos is going to have it in his hands when Peter the Pace car safely exits the racetrack and hangs that fat right on the pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go bowling here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's going to be in the hands of Kevin Tankos as he brings them through the Geico restart zone. Peter the Pace car on pit road. Freddie the Flagman waves the green flag. We're racing here in Watkins Glen in New York. Flying down into turns 1 and 2 here. Kevin Tankos is going to be on the outside. Ty Robinson look down on the inside. No contact made here. Looks like everybody's going to be able to make it through turns 1 and 2, off by turns 1 and 2. Heading up the hill through the S's here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's going to be Tankos, Robertson, Bobby Kyle, James Fallon, and Chase Johnson, Nicholas Maynard rounding out the top 5. Heading up through the S's. These guys are going to have to be on top of this racetrack all night long. And ladies and gentlemen, riding you heading down the back straightaway here, presenting you by Toyota, where the RVs are setting all night long. And let me tell you something, it smells damn good back here. It smells like a nice sirloin grilled steak right here as the green flag drops. Everybody working their way through the bus stop. Make sure you drop your kids off. They got their backpack in their clothes, in their shoes tied. It's going to be a long night here around the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Kevin Tankos in full control right now, looking to lead lap number 125 scheduled here tonight. There will be a competition caution for the Madness Racing League with on lap 10. That'll be with 15 laps to go, located in the top left screen of your ticker. Looks like Kevin Tankos is going to be the guy leading them back around here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and we will go incident free. Kevin Tankos will slap the outside wall here. Listen to these engines roar heading down here across the line. James Fallon's looking all over the back end of Ty Robertson, and this is the battle for the second place spot. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys again going to have to go off the strategy keys that we talked about before tonight's event kicked off. You do not want to be that guy that gets burned here off the racetrack, trying to find a way around somebody. Let it work naturally back to you. Nick Crawford has the fastest opening lap here on the racetrack. He'll work his way back up through the S's, and this number 48, Fresh Frozen Food, Queso's machine. Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos has got about a 3-car lap gap lead between him and Ty Robertson. Heading back into the bus stop. James Fountain to make the pass over. Looks like going to be Bobby Kyle on that 777 all over the back door here of Ty Robinson as they work their way back around the carousel, heading back towards turn 7, headed towards turn 8 to go back towards the finish line. Meanwhile, we got a little bit of a stack up back here. Looks like Travo Wall, Nicholas Maynard going at it here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This might be our first battle of the night between two rock and roll racing teammates here. Nicholas Maynard in the Snap-on 02 outside machine. He'll have to think better of it, pull back in line behind the number 7 of Travo Wall. Travo Wall winless here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So is Nicholas Maynard. Travo Wall battling some internet connection issues. He'll blink in and blink out here, but the battle's still on here. Travo off track back there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a killer right there for Travo Wall. He'll blink in and blink out here. Still hasn't returned back to the racetrack here. Not a good sign here early for Travo Wall here. Told me earlier in the garage he was just looking for a great race. Talked to this kid earlier. Speaking of the kid, contacts made down here. Into turns 1 and 2. Nicholas Maynard able to hold on to it. Nick Crawford around off track here. Contacts made between John Michael Bryan and Nicholas Maynard. Looks like Nicholas Maynard's able to hold on to the race car, though. John Michael Bryan gets the advantage, though. We got another one off track here. That's Bobby Kyle. He'll take it back down on the pit road here after slapping the outside wall. No fast repairs here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryan leads Kyle Fountain, Nicholas Maynard, and Nick Crawford down the back straightaway headed towards the bus stop. Kyle Fountain looking to make a move here. Down into the bus stop. Kyle Fountain driving this number 59. White and purple Tiger, Tyler's Pub of the Pier. Clemson colored machine. Clemson on a rough start to their season, but not this guy right here, cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain. Kyle Fountain told me that he was not a road course racer, and if he could just come in here tonight, try to keep all 4 Goodyear tires on the racetrack, he felt like he might have had a chance. We did never know, but Nick Crawford back here battling some handling conditions after going off the racetrack. John Michael Bryan leads them down here in the turn 7, heading back towards turn 8. Nick Crawford, though, don't look like he's suffering much damage after getting to the other Nick on the racetrack, so the two Nicks will collide here. Kyle Fountain will get around the kid of Nicholas Maynard as well. The battle's on back here between John Michael Bryan. That's the boogeyman, cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain, and the kid of Nicholas Maynard to have to regroup himself. John Smith, the winner 2 weeks ago at the Iowa Speedway, working his way down here Looks like John Michael Bryant with a little bit of wheel lock up here. John Michael Bryant is swinging it wide here on the brand new track limits. Nick Crawford hard on the outside wall back there on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Big damage to the number 48, and the toe link is absolutely gone on that number 48 Chevy Camaro from Buckhannon, West Virginia. We'll pull it off the racetrack here. We'll keep it green, though. You got to be in a big buck-ton pile up here on the Madness Racing League. We're talking 3 to 4 cars worth for the actual full course caution to come out here. John Michael Bryant leading Kyle Fountain and Nicholas Maynard through the wet stop, followed by John Smith. And Blake Koschchild will jump back up here where the battle for the race lead is absolutely shaking up here. Ty Robinson knocking all over the back door of Kevin Tankos. And Kevin Tankos, if you're new here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, does this type of racing, road course racing, all in the background of Kevin Tankos. He is a 2-time Madness Racing League Road Course Series winner. And what I mean by that, Kevin Tankos won the Sonoma race in the Cup Series Season 1. After we had a little bit of incident from a part-timer there at the end, I remember that race very vividly. And then Kevin Tankos absolutely dominated at the Charlotte Roval for the Xfinity Series earlier this year. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what found Kevin Tankos locked into the playoffs for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Took him all the way to the playoffs, and I'd be damned if you didn't pay attention this past weekend. Kevin Tankos picks up his first Madness Racing League championship here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Xfinity Series Season 2. So that trophy found its way back to Hawthorne, New Jersey. Kevin Tankos currently right now putting together a masterpiece, pulling away from Tyler Robertson. Meanwhile, this battle back here between the Boogeyman and cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain, they'll actually be door to door. Finally, this time Kyle Fountain will lock it up here through the bus stop, and he'll find his way through the carousel here. Nicholas Maynard will make up that adjustment on John Michael Bryant and get back around the Boogeyman. The battle is on here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant looking right back below the number 02 Snap-on Ford Mustang. So a Toyota Camry and a Ford Mustang battling it out here with 20 laps to go at the Watkins Glen International Raceway for the Go Bowling 100. And let me tell you something, it's definitely been that up to this point. Bowling, ladies and gentlemen, contact made all over the racetrack. John Michael Bryant looks like he'll undercut the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, and they'll fight their way back off of turn 8, headed back towards the front stretch of the stands. Everybody's not taking a seat. Nicholas Maynard gets to run to the left side of the number 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. They'll work their way across the line, door to door. It's a drag race down into turn 1. Bryant on the inside, Maynard on the outside. These two guys giving each other plenty of space, not running each other all over the racetrack. Nicholas Maynard will overrun the limit right there. These brand new, freshly repaved curb and refresh textured here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway on the iRacing platform. Allows these guys to be able to pull over here. You see R.I.P. Charlie Kirk on the side of John Michael's Toyota Camry here tonight, saluting Charlie Kirk, who sadly had his life taken from him earlier today after he was assassinated in Utah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If I ever get my hands on the person that done that, their ass is mine here. You best believe it. John Michael Bryant, though, showing the support here tonight for Charlie Kirk on the back half of that Toyota Camry. But right now, all on the back half in that rearview mirror is the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, who's charging right here on the back half of the number 23 of John Michael Bryant. Nicholas Maynard bringing it down here, heading towards turn 7. He'll look to the outside of the number 23. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is really the only battle we have on the racetrack at this point. Nicholas Maynard gets big loose there, and that'll help John Michael Bryant. As I'm looking down over at the ticker here, ladies and gentlemen, we are 4 laps away from the competition caution here for the Madness Racing League. For the Watkins Glen Go Bowling 100 here, ladies and gentlemen, we always, once a season, and every season here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we ask these guys to please run a road course. I mean, it brings us some great quality of racing, really showcase the skill between these bunch of different guys here. You're riding around on the blimp cam right now with Billy the Blimp Driver around the Watkins Glen International Raceway as Kyle Fountain makes his way up the S's. Nicholas Maynard still chilling. John Michael Bryant like a dog chasing a cat, as a snap-on number 02 machine listening in to Nicholas Maynard as they work their way down the back straightaway, heading towards the bus stop. He feels like he's a little bit loose and tight off the contact with Nick Crawford. Definitely knocked the wheel off just a tad bit, but Nicholas Maynard talking about just trying to make it to the competition caution here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, you see the right front the glowing rotors, of Ty Robertson. He is on those brakes hard, listening in to the number 9 machine of Ty Robertson. He says not sure what is going on with the brake package we put inside of our Camaro here tonight, but as he drives by right here, you see the inside of those underneath the braking will get extremely volcanic red, almost like lava here, really operating at high temperatures here early in tonight's event for Ty Robertson as he continues to try to run down Kevin Tankos. Maybe Ty Robertson tries to take a step back here as he knows he has a competition caution heading right towards his back pocket that he can use to try to run back down Kevin Tankos here in the closing parts of tonight's event. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty Robertson, though, on the move. Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant back up and going at it here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. These guys ain't sparing each other an inch, won't go away from one another. The Ford Mustang of Nicholas Maynard has a little bit more speed on the beginning part of the road course. John Michael Bryant on the back half of the bus stop can really hold his own. Nicholas Maynard looking to the inside. He'll switch back over to the left side of the 23 machine of John Michael Bryant, and he is all over the back of the boogeyman. The boogeyman, John Michael Bryant, probably just smiling ear to ear, looking in the mirror. John Michael Bryant, not much of a road course racer, neither is Nicholas Maynard, is what we were telling us in the garage. The guy behind him, John Smith, already locked into the playoffs in that number 13 machine. John Smith knows his fate of going to the playoffs here on Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Meanwhile, Tony Cook trying to run down the rest of these guys, but he's got damage to the back end of that number 33. You see the left-right glowing rotor of Tony Cook is absolutely battling some brake conditions here late. Nicholas Maynard will beat the slide around John Michael Bryant, heading off of turn 8, back down the front stretch here towards the front finish line. Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant going to call a Houdini here. 2 laps before the competition caution for John Michael Bryant. He'll work his way down on the pit road. John Michael Bryant's 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a full can of Sunoco Racing fuel, pitting on the right side of the car this week here at the Watkins Glen, pitting backwards, but a speeding on pit road penalty for John Michael Bryant. This is going to be killer for him and his number 23 Toyota Camry crew. They'll hop the wall here. They won't touch the race car here adjustment-wise. John Michael Bryant said it felt really good. He felt like he had a lot of drive here as they realized they were going to come in early, try to hop the pit cycle, fill up on gas, and maybe possibly try to stay out during the competition caution, but it's going to burn the boogeyman as he is currently speeding on pit road down, stuck right now, capable of going a lap down to Kevin Tankos and Ty Robertson as they come off turns 1 and 2. That is exactly what will happen to John Michael Bryant. He'll lose a lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Nicholas Maynard running by himself right now. He'll move up to the 3rd place spot, followed by Jonathan Smith. Too many Johns here out on the racetrack, followed by Blake Koschchild and Kyle Fountain. Blake Koschchild here in the recent weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Going to have 1 more lap to go here until the competition flies on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Blake Koschchild, again, like I said, really started to come alive in this Toyota Camry on the long run. But here recently on the ovals, we go about 50, 60 laps. Blake Koschchild sailing through the field each and every single week. And there goes the competition caution flag being waved by Freddie the Flagman. So Kevin Tankos will lead every lap up to this point, folks, as these guys are looking to go catch Peter the Base Car out on the racetrack here. We'll re-wreck them. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys will pit as one whole unit on the pit road. And the caution flag is out. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of guys involved in some accidents at the starting part of tonight. James Fountain off the racetrack as well. Bobby Kyle still down on pit road addressing the toe link damage. But it's going to be Blake Koschchild and the rest of these guys catching Peter the Base Car. Kevin Tankos will take, we'll call it stage 1 here on the road course for the Madness Racing League. 15 laps to end it here for the Go Bowling 100. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll have your pit stops. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. These guys have called Peter the Pace Car back here on turn 7, headed to turn 8. I'm hearing from the admin. We will go to the pit stops this time around. This is all we have left right here on your camera screen. Everybody else has magically found their way out of the race car, out of the racetrack with big damage. Kevin Tankos will be the ballsy one here. He'll bring it down on the pit road. So will Ty Robertson. Looks like Nicholas Maynard will come as well as Jonathan Smith, Blake Koschchild, Kyle Fountain, Tony Cook, and the rest of these guys catching the back half of the pack here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. So Kevin Tankos and the rest of these folks come down on the pit here. We'll see how the pit calls work out for majority of these guys. Nicholas Maynard here going to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires instead of some Sunoco Racing fuel. Kevin Tanko's led every lap up to this point. Says do not touch the race car. Like it how it is right now. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Kevin Tanko's. Nicholas Maynard looks like he'll slide in his box. His guys are going to jack up the left side of the race car. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Nicholas Maynard and his Maynard Motors racing crew. They'll hop and drop the left side of the jack. Jump over to the right side of the race car. It's going to be right side tires for Nicholas Maynard. They'll drop the jack, and the kid is off here on pit road, and so is everybody else, and the race is on. But you have to give it to Kevin Tanko's. He'll redeem the race lead here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Right behind will be Ty Robertson, Nicholas Maynard, right in order as they came off, but everybody's going to be re-racked, and ready to go with some fresh rubber and hopefully an idea on how the track is being worn in tonight and how it's racing. Pit stops are completed and finally in the book. We're going to have about 12 laps when we get back racing. We'll bring all that to you when we get back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Heading down the back straightaway behind Peter the Pace Car, John Michael Bryant will be the wave around here. He'll be back on the lead lap. Don't go nowhere. The Go Bowling at the Glen 100 returns in just a moment. Bang! We're back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, bringing up showing you the remaining series. Season 2 schedule here for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. We are heading for our season finale 2 weeks from now, so if you don't think this road course means a lot here tonight to these folks, you better think again. It's going to be about 13, maybe 12 laps to go when we get the green flag to go back racing here in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tanko's is going to be the leader. Hearing from the Las Vegas betting odds that Jonathan Smith's the race favorite 2 weeks from now at Dover as he ran second to Nicholas Maynard in season 1. Definitely looking to go back and redeem the trophy there. Looks like it wouldn't go as the yellow flag is still standing, straight up from ready to flag. Man, that indicates to us that shit is getting ready to get real. John Michael Bryant will be the lucky dog here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll head around through the curves here and better get to hauling ass. Woo, 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 woo. John Michael Bryant, the lucky dog here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's going to be 12 laps to go when we will go back to the green flag racing. Peter the Pace Car heading them up through the hill, through the S's. Tanko's on the inside. Ty Robertson on the outside has been the front 2 fast cars right now. A little bit of a stack up down into turns 1 and 2 up the hill. Really separated the majority of the pack when we started the green flag drop here tonight. Peter the Pace Car is absolutely loving this BMW car they have given here the drive. Talked to him earlier today, and let me tell you something. He must have been hot boxing or something inside of that race car. Smelled like straight skunk. He's smoking that good, working his way down the back straightaway. He'll have, looks like we're going to be having 10 V8 engines roaring here when it's about 12 laps to go. So we'll see how things shake out. It's anybody's ball game up to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, see if I can't bring up the point standings right now as they currently run here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. You can kind of get a key point on your favorite driver and how their seasons went up to this point. John Michael Bryant working his way up here, second in, locked in on points for the playoffs. Kevin Tanko's leading the race lead right now. Looked ass at the Charlotte Roval. Can he lock himself into the playoffs here tonight with a win and possibly go ahead and take away one of those point spots from some of these guys? Breaking news from the garage coming into Watkins Glen tonight. Terry Hughes Jr., driver of the number 81 XI Racing Ford Mustang driver team owner, not able to compete full-time, no longer here on Wednesday nights for the Cup Series and or the Truck Series that you can find here tomorrow night. So Terry Hughes Jr. has been subjectively right now put at the bottom of the points leaderboard, and he will forfeit his playoff spot. The next person in line in the point standings will just move up, but it's going to be Kevin Tanko in control here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, bringing us back to the Geico restart zone. And Peter the Pace Car will get the hell off the racetrack. Kevin Tanko will slap down on the gas, and we're back racing here at the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tanko's Ty Robertson going to battle down here in the turns 1 and 2. John Smith all over the back bumper. Ty Robertson, if he learned his lesson from the first restart to begin tonight's event, if you're going to go, you got to go now. Kyle Fountain on the outside here. Blake Hochschild down on the bottom side. Nicholas Maynard working his way up the hill. Jonathan Smith to work his way up to that third place spot. Nicholas Maynard in the fourth place spot, followed by Kyle Fountain. Nicholas Maynard gets loose here, contact to the inside wall. Hard shot there for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. He's got a flat left front tire. Big damage to the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Just talking playoffs as he's got debris on the racetrack. Heading off of turn 3, heading back towards the butt stop. Nicholas Maynard, a flat left front tire. He's sailing through the butt stop. Watch your kid. Make sure you grab him. We got a drunken alcoholic. Nicholas Maynard did not need that one here on the restart to begin on 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Nicholas Maynard hard into the inside wall. He's going to have to bring this one down on the pit road, smoking out the back end of the number 02. Wow, a costly mistake here for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. And here comes John Michael Bryant as he's on the roll here, trying to catch up to the back half of the field as he was a lap down. Looks like the kid of Nicholas Maynard will stick to the outside and just let the boogeyman ride on by here. Trouble for Nicholas Maynard here on the restart. Can he get it down on the pit road? Flat left front tire. The tow leak is absolutely destroyed. Sparking out the bottom end here. Nicholas Maynard struggling to get it down on the pit road, but he will. That'll lead the battle for the race lead. Kevin Tanko's Ty Robertson battling it out here. They're light years ahead of the rest of the pack. As John Smith starting to work his way through the S's, heading back down the back straightaway. As you see it right there as they come into the frame now, Kevin Tanko's has a masterpiece of a car here tonight, looking like Shane Van Gisbergen. His car is absolutely dialed in, but Ty Robertson all over the back end here. We were really starting to see the brakes affect the number 9 of Ty Robertson about 8 to 9 laps into the run, so we'll see how they adjusted for the number 9 of Ty Robertson here as he really starts to close in here. It's really starting to look familiar between John Michael Bryant and Kyle Fountain's battle earlier. John Michael Bryant was better on the first half of the road course compared to the back half of the road course where he gave up a lot of time. Meanwhile, look at this battle right here between Tony Cook, Bobby Kyle, and Chase Johnson. Tony Cook will move to the outside here. See Tony Cook go around almost earlier. So maybe Tony Cook just trying to play it conservative here tonight at Watkins Glen. Just take the points home. Chase Johnson locked in with the win. So Chase Johnson with some right front damage on that number 51. You see it right there. Chase Johnson knows he'll be racing for a playoffs championship here the next couple weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. You're really starting to see the brake glowing inside of that number 51 machine. Chase Johnson had to get really hard on the brake right there. John Michael Bryant, though, has the fastest lap on the racetrack right there. Well, the third fastest lap on the racetrack, as it looks like right now, Ty Robertson and Kevin Tanko's are just light seconds ahead of the rest of the pack right now. About 3 seconds a lap difference between the leader of Kevin Tanko's to the next person in line. That'll be Jonathan Smith, who's ran a 1:15.47 to the race leader's 1:11.20. So about almost 4 seconds faster than the rest of the field. Kevin Tanko's and Ty Robertson are currently at the moment. Hopefully these guys can possibly dial in these race cars. Hopefully these guys ain't chewing up some Goodyear rubber. And hopefully they'll have enough to get them into the end here. 7 guys are piled into our live stream right now watching the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. You're watching Jonathan Smith run for his life behind Kyle Fountain as they work their way off turn 8, heading back toward the front stretch. Kyle Fountain, cousin Big Country on the move here, currently up to the 4th place spot, and he is hungry for that 3rd place spot of Jonathan Smith right in front of him. 9 laps to go here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. You see Kyle Fountain right there really starting to get a little bit red on that left front tire brake pad. Kyle Fountain probably knows that he needs to save the brake here as much as he does the Goodyear tire, as Jonathan Smith's not racing for anything here tonight at the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. Jonathan Smith has a win from 2 weeks ago at the Iowa Speedway. Kyle Fountain currently out right now on the points. First one in right now on the points behind Holden Wheeler, who is yet to turn a lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. So Holden Wheeler will take the start and park here tonight. Tony Cook off the racetrack getting damage fixed to that race car. So is Nicholas Maynard riding on board with John Michael Bryant, the boogeyman, as he's slowly trying to chop into the front half pack of Chase Johnson, who is all over the racetrack here trying to get around Blake Koschchild in this number 12. We got about a 4 or 5 car battle right here. It's Bobby Kyle currently 7 laps down, but he's back out on the racetrack here, and Bobby Kyle slowly putting in some beautiful lap times here. Looks like maybe a little big pile up here. Will slow down Kyle Fountain. That'll allow Blake Koschchild and the rest of these guys to get around him here with 8 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Ty Robertson still has the race leader, Kevin Tanko's, in his sight. So this battle for the race lead we'll keep an eye on all night long. We'll throw it up to the blimp cam, flying high about 8,000 feet above the racetrack with Billy the blimp driver as the battle continues back here between Kevin Tinkos and Ty Robertson. Meanwhile, John Smith, Chase Johnson, Blake Hochschild, and the rest of these boys going at it here. Chase Johnson has about a pit car. That's what I call it, a pit car, as in Bobby Kyle. A couple laps down here, not racing for position. So if Chase Johnson really got into some trouble, you could really just let Bobby Kyle on by. But Blake Hochschild has a hard-charging Kyle Fountain all over the back bumper here, through the bus stop, heading back through the carousel. And this long sweeping right-hand corner back down the hill to go back towards the front stretch is a never-ending field. I've been down on this racetrack, turned laps at it with my own very eyes. Kyle Fountain says we have a lot of grip through the carousel, really heavy on the braking. John Michael Bryant, I'm in the picture back here. John Michael Bryant being told by his guys, take it easy, John. Please, we do not need you to screw up today trying to get back up to the pack. Slow it down. I just dissed you conceited style. It's any shout out to my rap battle fans out there. John Michael Bryant doing just that there. You see him really able to grip up through the corners. John Michael Bryant's car plants really well through pretty much every part of this road course here. We'll see him get down here. This has been his tough spot as you see him lock up the tire right there again. Big left front row tire rub there from John Michael Bryant. So he's heavy on the brake right now with the battle back here between Chase Johnson and Bobby Kyle. Really starting to heat up here. Bobby Kyle toying around with Chase Johnson down the back straightaway, heading in towards the bus stop. Bobby Kyle, a veteran here in the Madness Racing League. 3-time winner from Honorsville, Georgia as well. You best believe Bobby Kyle, 64 years old, but definitely knows how to get it done as he has a blinking Chase Johnson in and out right in front of him. What a beautiful racing design painted car from NapDaddyRacingDesigns.com. It's where you can go get your free paint scheme. What free, but had to pay for it. But telling the Madness Racing League sent you, see what they can do for you right there on the back of Bobby Kyle's Toyota Camry. It sits NapDaddyRacing.com. Go check them out today. Nicholas Maynard will hop out of that race car. They'll call it a day for the number 02. Cannot get back out on the racetrack here. Too much damage to fix it. Jonathan Smith looks like he's slowly losing more positions than normal. Blake Hochschild slaps the outside, and he'll go around here. They lock it down. No, Blake Hochschild oversteps it right here into turn one. Hop out on the brake. Fired up inside of that race car. You hear him slap down on the gas, trying to shift back up through the gears to head back up the hill through the S's. Blake Hochschild says, no, that is not what we needed. A little bit too much forward on the brake bias there into turns one. Blake Hochschild goes around, but no damage to the number 12 Toyota Camry. Chase Johnson is pulled a little bit away from Bobby Kyle. John Smith has a hard-charging Kyle Fountain in the rear-view mirror right here. Kyle Fountain talked about it earlier tonight, said he just wanted a top five. If he could leave out of here with a top five, it would really do him justice. He said he would feel like they would really help him in the point standing that they need with maybe a couple guys not showing up here tonight. Meanwhile, with Blake Hochschild going around here, that has opened up the door for John Michael Bryant with 5 laps to go here. John Michael Bryant was rescued of the lucky dog underneath the competition caution that flew on lap 10. With 15 laps to go here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, you hear John Michael Bryant real slow, real easy, really able to connect down on the bottom side of the grip apron, curve, whatever you want to call it. John Michael Bryant making up some time here on the back half of tonight's road course, but right now it's all been dominated by Chevys. The top 5, are closed out by Chevy Silverados. It's going to be Kevin Tinkos and his number 4, Saucy Nugs. From Hot Doors, New Jersey, number 4 Machine coming in here, not got a win in the Next Gen Cup Series. A win here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway could do miracles for this number 4 Machine as Kevin Tinkos locked in on points, but what does a guaranteed place in the playoffs mean to you when you go into Dover 2 weeks from now where anything is down to happen? But it's not over yet. This guy right behind him, Ty Robertson, nationwide, is on his side tonight as he has been the guy that has anywhere in the zip code of Kevin Tinkos. If anything, I'd say they're about even after about 5 laps or so. Kevin Tinkos really able to pull away right here, but we've seen brake issues from the number 9 of Ty Robertson all night long out of the back half of that number 9 Machine. Really glowing red there. You see as he drives down into the bus stop. Will that be a problem for the number 9 here in the closing half couple miles at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson, trouble earlier, didn't get the pit with the front pack group. Damage on the right front. You see it jacked up in the air right there. Has malfunctioned his way up here into the third place spot, battling back here with Bobby Kyle. These two not sparing each other an inch. Bobby Kyle locked into the playoffs right now on points. Bobby Kyle said he really was looking forward. Look at that number 20, that 777 Toyota Camry just hooked up through the bus stop right there. No issues for Bobby Kyle as he's really able to grip up there. Look at him just playing clown with the number 51, of Chase Johnson. He'll try the inside this time off a turn 7, headed towards turn 8, back towards the front stretch. The fans will stand up here as they see they might have a battle right in front of them. Heading down here in the turn 8, Bobby Kyle will think better of it here. 7 laps down, don't want to wreck Chase Johnson. As Chase Johnson probably has something to race for here, even though he is locked into the playoffs. Kyle Fountain working his way here, trying to run down the number 13 machine of Jonathan Smith, and he's all over that back bumper. Will Cousin Big Country make a move here with 3 laps to go? If he's going to go, he's got to go now. Kyle Fountain pleading with his crew chief here to shut up and let me race. Let me do what I need to do. Riding on board with Ty Robertson, trying to run down the race leader of Kevin Tankos with 3 laps to go here at Watkins Glen in the Go Bowling 150. This is the battle for the race lead. We'll throw it up blimp styles. They work their way off turn 7, headed towards turn 8. As the race leaders work their way back towards the front straightaway here, John Michael Bryan and Blake Hochschild continue to battle it on down the back straightaway here. John Michael Bryan, really impressed with this run here tonight. Not a road course racer. And look at the left front of the number 23 machine. It looks like it's absolutely on fire. Really hard on the brake. But he is able to run down to the number 12 of Blake Hochschild. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Go Bowling at the Glen 100, breaking news from the garage. Terry Hughes Jr. out at the Madness Racing League full-time. Had to move down to part-time due to funding in the 81XI Racing. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We heard it the scrums in the media. Terry Hughes Jr. refused to talk to the reporters about it. They asked him about how he felt the company had enough money funding-wise to fund 4 different race cars each and every single week in 3 different series. And it maybe looks like they might come back to bite here. Terry Hughes Jr. talking about taking Madness Racing League into a lawsuit to get his charter back when he comes back full-time here. And I wouldn't doubt that the Madness Racing League would give Terry Hughes Jr. his charter back if he really wanted it. But let me tell you something right now. Kevin Tankos is just taking the white flag here, and he has Ty Robertson all over the back bumper here. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. Ty Robertson has these final few corners to go to run down Kevin Tankos if he wants a chance to lock himself into the Madness Racing League Cup Series playoff here at Watkins Glen. But Kevin Tankos has led every lap up to this point, pulling away down the back straightaway. Kevin Tankos will hop down hard on the brake here into the bus stop, work his way out of turn 6. In turn 5, Ty Robertson gets big loose, and he's able to hold on to it. What a save by Ty Robertson. But that's going to kill his chances at possibly winning the race here tonight at the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. Kevin Tankos down the back straightaway, heading into turn 7 for the final time here tonight. Kevin Tankos will roll easily through turn 7, downshift into second gear into turn 8, and Kevin Tankos will head off of turn 8 for the final time tonight. Head back to the start-finish line here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and win his way into the Cup Series playoffs, followed by Ty Robertson. He'll finish second place in the battle back here for the third place spot. Showtime, Chase Johnson, Bobby Kyle still battling it out for the finishing position here. Bobby Kyle 7 laps down, though. Chase Johnson miles ahead of Jonathan Smith and Kyle Fountain. This is a battle for a spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Will Kyle Fountain put the back bumper to Jonathan Smith here? Both of these guys sitting in a top 5 finishing spot. Chase Johnson will get the move put on him by Bobby Kyle to move out of turns. 8 will come across the line, and Chase Johnson will finish third place here tonight. John Smith, Kyle Fountain working their way out of turn 7 and 8. Looks like Kyle Fountain will try the move on Jonathan Smith, but it won't work out for him. Jonathan Smith will hold on for the 4th place spot. Kyle Fountain will get the 5th place spot. Michael Bryan and Blake Hochschild battling it off of turns 8. John Michael Bryan will throw the block. They'll work their way off turn 8, and it's going to be John Michael Bryan working his way back around. Blake Hochschild all the way from the back for a 7th place spot over Blake Hochschild after going around here. But it's going to be Kevin Tankos winning tonight's event here, as he is already pulled down into the garage to go celebrate with his team here. Everybody else around the Watkins Glen International Raceway piled up here, getting ready for the driver interview portion parts of tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tankos wins the Watkins Glen race here for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. Look at this fan right here. He's pissed off. He must not be a Kevin Tankos fan. But ladies and gentlemen, you stick around right here. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll have your driver interviews. Kevin Tankos puts belt to ass again out here on the road course. Back in just a moment. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series Season 2. Live here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway here in Watkins Glen, New York. And let me tell you something, folks, these guys have these ribeyes absolutely shaking and baking back here. Let me tell you something. I got one earlier, and I am a ketchup on a steak kind of person. Judge me if you want to. Really don't give a damn. You have just watched the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. The DJ is absolutely turning up back here as Kevin Tankos climbs out of the race car down here in victory lane. It looks like we got a pit reporter with him. Let's see what the number 4 of Kevin Tankos had to say about his dominating victory here tonight. Go ahead.
Down here in victory lane with the number 4 Chevy Camaro of Kevin Tankos, as he has just picked up the victory here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway for the Go Bowling 100 for the Madness Racing League. Kevin kind of walked us through it here. He's been battling really up front here the last couple of weeks in the Next Gen. Just hasn't been able to close that out here. But today he'll come into Watkins Glen and absolutely dominate and pour your sauce all over the Nuggets out here on the track. Kind of walk us through it. You had a little bit of a battle right behind you with Ty Robertson, but you'll be able to find victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, it was a really good overall night for the number 4 Chevy Camaro, Wendy's Saucy Nugs car. Definitely thought Ty was faster than me in that back half of the track, was catching me a lot and early on in the carousel and stuff, but I feel like the S's won us that race, and even more the boys back at the shop for Rush Motorsports. I mean, they put together an absolutely beautiful car. Not an overall fan in general, but tonight definitely changed my outlook on the car a little bit. Just was able to set it well into the S's, and I think that's where most of our speed came from. So just really good racing to Ty and everybody else. A little bit of deja vu from Xfinity at Roval, and hopefully carry this momentum into the playoffs.
Kevin Tankos takes 2 of the last 2 of the road courses here in the Madness Racing League. We'll scoot down here to runner-up Ty Robertson. Ty kind of walked us through it here, coming off a win in, I believe, the Xfinity Series it was. As you come up here tonight, podium P2 spot, a couple seconds behind Kevin Tankos. Your brakes were absolutely fried there at the end. So seeing you get loose, what a save, kind of walk us through your night.
Yeah, coming off the Hall of the 9 car was great. I knew me and Kevin were going to have a good battle based off the times in practice. So I was just trying to be more consistent than him, but he was better in the spots that mattered. He got off that last corner way better than me, and I couldn't make a move in the one. But, yeah, it was a great race for everyone. A good win to Kevin, and good job to Chase coming on P3 there.
That's the number 9 of Ty Robertson. We'll scoot down here to the number 51, Chase Johnson Racing, chartered entry of Chase Johnson. Chase, kind of walk us through your night here. You finished kind of far back from the leaders here, but trouble early to start your night. You're able to rebound for a podium spot here tonight. Just big talks here from Chase Johnson in your road course program. Just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, we were just trying to buy our time there, waiting to get to the competition caution, and the 24, James just got loose or whatever happened. Spun, hit the wall, and came back onto the track, and I had nowhere to go. And plowed into him, and from there on, just had to work on the car and try to get it back to what it was. And we did as best we could, and we got back up to third. So all in all, I can't be too upset. It's a fast car. Can't beat ourselves up, and we'll go on to I don't know where the next one is, but we'll go on to the next one and give it all we got. Congrats to Kevin. Congrats to Todd too. They were really fast. I don't even think I've seen them after the green flag. So congrats to them, and we'll go on and keep on fighting.
Chase Johnson looking forward to Dover 2 weeks from now, where he led 40 laps in Season 1 of the Cup Series. We'll scoot down here to the P4 finisher, Jonathan Smith. John, we heard you talk to your crew chief coming to the checker flag here. Just glad to finish the race. So get a P4 spot. Just let everybody kind of work their way throughout the field. No practice lap, no qualifying lap for the number 13 tonight, as you were stuck in the garage trying to get this carburetor to act right in this number 13 machine. Just kind of walk us through your night here, as this machine looks like it has not a scratch on it.
Dude, I'm just doing donuts out here, happy that I finished the race and kept it straight the whole time. That was the only goal. It wasn't a win or come in a certain spot. It was just to keep the car going forward all night, keep all 4 tires on the ground, and I did that for about 95% of the race. So that's all you can ask for. But big thanks to Spider, Hunter Foley up there watching over, and then Nat Daddy Racing, Engine for Coffee, Premier Setup Shops. Shout out to Kevin Tankos taking that win, and 8X iRacing.
And that's the number 13 of Jonathan Smith, looking to pick up a win 2 weeks from now at Dover, his favorite track. He'll be the Las Vegas favorite. Let's go down here to the top 5 finisher of Kyle Fountain, and this number 59, Jim Fountain Racing chartered entry. Kyle, walk us through it. And came into tonight, we talked to you on the garage. You said that road coursing really wasn't your expertise, but you've been putting in a lot of practice here recently, and you brought a absolute rocket ship here tonight. The brakes started to fail there towards the end of the race, but you were absolutely throwing battles there with Jonathan Smith all race long. Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, if you told me at the beginning of the race I was getting a P5, I took it all day long. So happy to be able to do that in a unexpected, I wouldn't even call it, definitely not a circle race, more of a cross-out race. Just kind of what Jonathan did, just tried to keep the car under me and not wreck and be there and just finish, and somehow got a top 5, so can't be too disappointed in that.
Kyle Fountain will climb his way through the standings here, looking better for a playoff spot. We'll scoot down here to the P6 finisher, John Michael Bryant. John, an eventful night here tonight at the Watkins Glen International Speedway. You guys will try to go off strategy or come down pit road and just speed. That one's on you. But you were able to rebound there. Coming back from the back of the pack, you lose touch to the pace car. But you're able to cut the gap down and come back for a P6 finish. Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, I came in here. The ultimate goal was just finish. I wasn't looking forward to coming here. I just absolutely despise making right-hand turns. Had some incidents in front of us happen, and, it put us in a good spot. So thought I'd cut that comp caution and tried to take the lead there, come down, got the speeding penalty, and, just ended up surviving. Proud of what we did here today, and, by God, we finally finished one of these damn things. Feels good to be able to complete some right-hand turns and see a checkered flag instead of seeing the hauler on the way home.
John Michael Bryant heading straight to the backstretch bus spot to go party up here with the fans. That'll do it down here with the top 6 finishers on the Watkins Glen. Joe Bowling 100 for the Madness Racing League. One more race remains on the regular season, and then we'll set our playoffs 2 weeks from now. Back up to the booth.
Yeah, back up here to the booth, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard from your mom's favorite driver, your favorite contestant, whoever the hell you want to call it. But, ladies and gentlemen, see if I can't get us a little commercial break over here or something. We'll come back and get you the full breakdown of the results here for the Go Bowling at the Glen 100.
Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight I had something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights and in alone.
Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, where we have just tackled on to Go Bowling at the Glen. We took on 2 sets of tires. They had a 25-lap race for the comp caution on lap 10. The keys of the race tonight really fell into the strategy of tonight's final results here, and I really can't begin to express and share that enough with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put the keys of the race down here. You can kind of implement on what you think you might have saw here tonight and add it into it as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you one little quick rundown on how they finished out here tonight. The playoff standings are really starting to shake up here. I do not have the point standings, the brand new ones for you guys, but I will have those 2 weeks from now. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tanko's brought home the victory here tonight at the Go Bowling at the Glen 100. He leads every single lap here tonight and absolutely put his sauce all over everybody's nose. Ty Robertson of that Nationwide definitely had it on his side tonight from Coleman, Alabama. The 21-year-old gets the runner-up spot here tonight. Chase Johnson in the number 51 will round out a P3 spot here tonight after a little bit of trouble to start tonight's race. Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina will finish out in the 4th place spot here tonight. He'll hard charge his way up through the field. He'll take home the extra 15 bonus points. Cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain shocks the world here tonight. He'll get the top 5 in the road course at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, and he will climb up the standings here in the point system. Kyle Fountain now moving up here to get off that cut line for the playoffs. We'll see how things shake up 2 weeks from now at the regular season ender. The boogeyman, John Michael Bryant, talk about a bounce back. He'll bounce that ball all the way around Booty Scoot Racing Channel tonight at the Watkins Glen International Raceway and make up a spot there at the end after going a lap down, speeding on pit road for the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. Blake Hochschild, excuse me, in the number 12 machine, finishing the 7th place spot here tonight. He was the last person currently on the lead lap when we took the checker flag, followed by Bobby Kyle, who stayed around 7 laps down, and he will gain, looks like going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions by just sticking it out here tonight and getting the damage fixed on that race car. Bobby Kyle, big point stay here today after going sideways and around earlier in tonight's event. Tony Cook in the number 33 Silver Bullet will round out the 9th place spot here tonight. 9 laps down. He'll stick it out on the racetrack as long as possible, and it'll get some much needed points for Tony Cook. Nicholas Maynard steps on his nuts here and goes around at the top side of the hill through turns 2 and 3. He'll step on his own nuts and go around, and it'll cost the kid a 10th place spot here tonight. And hopefully we'll see how these championship point standings run out for the kid. James Fountain goes around earlier tonight as well, hard into the inside wall, collecting his teammate of Chase Johnson. He'll round out the 11th place spot. Nick Crawford back out here on the racetrack tonight from Buchanan, West Virginia. Slams down on the brake hard into turn 1, gets into Nicholas Maynard and then hard into the outside wall. Snaps the left front toe link on that number 48, and he wasn't able to finish the race here tonight. Travo Wall absolutely stuns himself here tonight, steps on the brake a little bit too much, goes around and kills the front end of the number 7 Ford Mustang. Travo will get the 13th place spot here tonight. Holden Wheeler, knowing how much the season means to him tonight, couldn't be here in for the whole race, so he'll take the starting part from Mooresville, North Carolina, and take home the 14th final spot, paying point for Holden Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, that looks like that's going to do it down here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series Season 2. Live here for the Watkins Glen International Raceway. We'll throw up the remaining schedule one more time for you guys, and hopefully we see you guys 2 weeks from now at Dover. It's going to be one hell of a show. It's going to be 115 laps actually from the admin is what I was told. So that has been increased to 15 more laps. It's going to be one hell of a tire-saving race on a cold concrete surface. What the hell is going to happen in Dover, Delaware 2 weeks from now? You have to stick it out right here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. If you want to find out, make sure you head on over to the YouTube page. Head on over to the TikTok YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. Give us a like and a follow and a subscribe. And you can get all of our live races there. Posted there. This is where you'll find this one right after the fact. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us here at the Go Bowling at the Glen 100, live from the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Kevin Tankos puts belt to ass here tonight, locks himself into the championship race. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us down here, up in the booth, whatever the hell you want to call it, as the fans start to pile out of here in New York. We're not responsible for your DUI. As always, this has been the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. God bless, ladies and gentlemen, and Godspeed. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.
such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with that